Hey, welcome back to the Old Man Guitar Life channel, where we explore learning guitar at the later stages in life. And actually, I want to say that it doesn't just have to be guitar. If there's older people who are learning the tuba later in life, welcome. And actually, it's the Old Man Guitar Life channel, but you don't have to be an old man. It could be an older female. So welcome. Today, I want to explore the biggest problem in my mind, the biggest problem that I had during my path of trying to learn the guitar. And let's just cut right to it. You decide you want to learn the guitar. You've got, let's say you're 55 years old. So let's say you're going to live to be 85 years old. That's 30 years. 30 years is 10,950 days. So you've got almost 11,000 days left to try to learn. Now, the old axiom is it takes 10,000 hours to master something. So if you practice an hour a day for about 28 of those remaining years, you're going to master the guitar, right? It's a pretty daunting task, though, to an hour a day for the next 28 years. So the odds are most of us are not going to master the guitar. What we can do is have a lot of fun with it. But the idea is that we don't have as much leeway as we did when we're 18 years old. So we need to really be able to focus and hone in on what it is we want to do. So that's the number one thing. And the biggest problem if you are self-taught or if you want to use the internet, which is what I've done. If you have a teacher, then, work with your teacher. But if you're self-taught, the internet is filled with tons of amazing information. Tons of amazing stuff is out there. But the real problem is that a lot of it may not be applicable to where you're at in your journey. And if you're just starting out, where you're at in your journey is not going to involve learning modes in 2 minutes. Or learning these amazing patterns, or even the caged system, right? So, or mastering the fretboard. I'm sorry, Rick, but 30 minutes to master the fretboard? Yeah. So the main thing most important thing in my mind is determining why you want to play, what it is you want to accomplish. Because if you want to learn to play the blues, the skill set is different than if you want to learn to play jazz standards. If you want to play cowboy songs on an acoustic at home or around the campfire, if you go camping, the skill set is different. If you want to maybe compose your own songs and record them and have fun doing that, the skill set is different. If you want to learn classic rock songs from your youth, the skill set is different. So what you are going to focus on really depends on why you want to play the guitar. Now that can change over time, and it certainly has for me, but I wasted so much time. So for instance, I like classic rock songs, and I like the bluesy kind of songs, Santana and David Gilmour, that kind of genre. And so I would read, well, Santana, like this solo is the Mixolydian mode, and I would think, I need to learn the Mixolydian mode. And honestly, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to understand that at some point, but if you're just learning the guitar and you're just trying to get it under your fingers, and I had the minor pentatonics, and that was my launching point, which is a good launching point for that. But learning actual Santana songs would have served me better at a certain point. But even early on, that's not where I needed to be because it was too far advanced for where I was, just trying to get those pentatonics under my fingers and being able to do that with some proficiency and then some speed and getting better at it. So understanding all of that is where a teacher will certainly help. And that's where just going into the wild on the internet can be dangerous, because there's just so much information out there, and so many really good teachers on YouTube are really interested in getting clicks on their videos, right? And that's why, learn the modes in 2 minutes. Well, you're not going to learn the modes in 2 minutes, right? But it sounds attractive, and you hear people talk about the modes, and Santana used the Mixolydian mode. And so if I want to learn to solo like Santana, that's where I need to be. But it's not, at least not early on. So I think the biggest problem is just having way too much stuff, and it's easy to confuse where you need to focus early on, the fundamentals. And those fundamentals are dependent on what genre, where you want to be initially, right? If I want to learn James Taylor songs on an acoustic, then I don't really need to worry so much about the modes, you know? If I want to learn jazz standards, then practicing those Gilmore bends is just a waste of time. And if you're starting later in life like I did, then time is a really important asset. So hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And thanks, and look forward to seeing you on the next video.